for another flight test on Essential RC. Thanks for tuning in. This is version 3 of FMS's Futura 80mm EDF sport jet. Now, FMS did not come up with the design for the Futura. It first came out in 2010, I think, quite a long time ago, from a company called Tomahawk Aviation. Now it came out in two sizes, 1.9 meter wingspan and 2.5 meter wingspan. I had the 1.9 meter version back in 2011. Initially put an EDF system in it, which at that time was quite leading edge. Had a Ramtech ICD EDF fan converted to electric on 14S. I think 14S 12,000. Flew pretty well. Flew that a while with a simple design on it because it got delivered in a white gel coat, no scheme on it. Flew that a few times and then eventually converted it to a turbine. Put a 140 Newton turbine system in it, which flew really well, but changed the scheme. And I like doing something different when it comes to custom schemes, so I went to a company up in Manchester and got them to put a Angry Bird scheme on it, a freehand rattle can application of that scheme, and I thought it looked really good. It was very, at the time, it was either you liked it or loathed it. Very Marmite when I showed it to people, you know, they either really liked it or really loathed it, but I liked it for something different. That's what I always like to do. But this is the latest version 3 of this FMS version of the 80mm Futura. Looks really good. I like the scheme a lot. It's a very modern scheme. And version 3, so it's gone through quite a few, it's gone through some iterations, some improvements, some feedback from the market. And I like it when manufacturers do that. They really do listen and try and improve, and only the good companies do that. So let's take it out of the box. Let's see what we get. So actually, as always, I like to show you the packing of the components of the model before I unbox. And as you can see, very well designed, compact, keeps the shipping price low, I guess, these days, which is very important. When they ship loads of these in a container, they want to squeeze as many of these cartons as they can in the container across the sea. But really well done. Nothing is going to move in the box when it's in transit to your door. So great job, FMS. Let's move on and let's unbox it. All the components out of the box. Didn't take too long to unbox everything, but be very careful that you do look through the box thoroughly, because there are a couple of those small plastic bags and it's easy to miss that hardware bag, which is vital to completing the assembly of this model. But let's start with the fuselage. Love the scheme. That's the first thing I will say. Fantastic scheme. But take the canopy off, catch at the back, slots in at the front. You can see the location of the battery here. We've got a strap, we've got Velcro as well to put on our battery. We've got the Reflex version 2 gyro stabilization system, which helps relative new pilots and experienced pilots as well. You've got optimized mode, for which cuts out the effects of the wind, optimized, and stabilized, which does auto leveling should you need that, and off as well, so you need that on a 3-position switch. But all your leads out of that go into your receiver. If you have a receiver like I do, the FrSky X8R has an S-bus slot, so I would take that and plug that in, and that would take care of the primary control surfaces, and then I would probably just have to plug in flaps and landing gear, which makes it a little easier to for your receiver, not so many wires. Then let's move to the back. You can see the wing, which will have a carbon tube to go through there. And then we've got the plug for the electrics, for the retracts and the flaps and the aileron on the wing, and then 2 bolts to hold that in place. Vertical stabilizer, So plug for the rudder and the elevators, horizontal stabilizer and elevators, servos in place and already connected up with the push rods with ball links. Ball links fantastic for precision zero slop connections to the control surfaces. Then we've got the wings, ailerons and flaps, servos in place already hooked up, again with ball links on the ends of the push rods onto the control surfaces, and the retractable landing gear as well. Looks good. And the vertical stabilizer with the rudder, again scheme looks fantastic, but servo in place already hooked up with a push rod with a ball link to the rudder. That is it. Not a lot. So again, FMS, mind-blowing. So easy to put these things together because they've done all the work for you. So give me a few minutes and I will assemble this. It comes with a manual. I really doubt I'm going to need that because it's so obvious how it goes together if you've put together a few of these FMS models. But give me a few minutes, I'll be back and show you it already assembled. So there we are, all done. Looks rather good, don't you think? Fantastic new scheme on this Futura version 3. Only about 8 bolts and then it's assembled. It really is that straightforward. So showing you the setup on my transmitter on my RadioMaster TX16S. Obviously I have renamed the model and I use the gear switch to start the timer, and it counts, it lets me know when I've hit each minute of the flight. Then you can see I've got the aileron, elevator, throttle and rudder, and on the aileron, elevator and rudder I set up 3 position rates: 100%, 66% and 33% weight with 30% exponential, and I use the SA switch to move between those rates.
Middle rates, low rates, high rates.
Like that. And why do I do that? When you're flying at low speed I want more throw, and at when I'm flying at high speed and I want to fly, precision flight, then I want to go down probably to low rate. Unless I want to perform aggressive aerobatics like flicks and things like that, then I would probably be at the higher rate even if I was at high speed. Then scrolling down, you can see I've got gear, flap and the reflex gyro stabilization system mode switch on SC. FLP here on the flap channel means I've got a curve set up because the flap has 3 positions, flaps 1, 2 and 3. Now if you didn't have a curve, flaps 2 position would be at 50% of the throw between 1 and 3. I set up a curve so that my flap 2 position can be just a little bit of flap that I need for takeoff. And then the mixes, it maps basically to the inputs. It's as simple as that. And then on the outputs you can change the center position, the end points, and also whether the channel's reversed or not. Really simple. So all ready to go now with this Futura version 3. Let's take it down the flying field and get it in the air. Okay, so here we are down the flying field, ready to fly the Futura for the first time. I will just show you regarding CG. I think it's from the leading edge of the wing where it meets the fuselage, it's 100 to 105 millimeters back. I only have 6S6000 packs. I think really optimal pack for this is a 6S5000, but this is where it has to go to get that CG. And as you can see, it's quite well. I mean, that's how tall it is on the side of the fuselage. So I've had to cut quite a bit out of the canopy to accommodate it.
The thing is, if that was a 5000, it'd have to go further forward because it'd be lighter.
Indeed, yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I think so. What can I tell you? That's where it has to go. So not, and the two straps, I mean, you can see there, I put a bit of Velcro on the foam here, and there's a strap there that the battery's not even underneath. But this is why, so don't just put your battery in and put it under the straps thinking your CG will be right. Test your CG. I put map pins underneath at that position, so when I get to the field I put the battery in and I check by holding it underneath that it's in the right place.
But it also is a sport jet, so you probably could get away with going a bit back.
We have had other sport jets where recommended CG, but then you have worked back like 10 or 20 mil, haven't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So hard to, I don't know.
But not for a maiden.
Not for a maiden flight, no. I'm going with the recommended.
Trimming a little bit first. And up. Good power. And we'll do a loop in the middle. Power off at the top, on the way down. 4-point roll. Helicopter, low full-size helicopter.
Very low heli.
Yep. Crazy. Four-point rolls, so good. Let's try knife edge up the other way. Needs full deflection to do that. Smooth roll down this way. Inverted. Over the top. Nice. I would have thought it would fly so much heavier than it does with that 6000 pack, but it really doesn't. Floats along. So flaps down now. And full flap now. Third throttle. Keeping the nose up. And beautiful.
Well, my fear was that with the 6S6000 pack it was going to fly heavy. It's not for the size yet, it doesn't seem to have quite a big wingspan, so, but it didn't fly heavy. It flew really crisp aerobatics, it flew slow on the half flap, really impressed with it, and it's got really adequate power, so definitely a nice jet. So thanks for watching this flight test. This is the new FMS Futura version 3, and look it up. The link is in the video description and the pinned comment. Thanks for watching. You might want to subscribe even, and click the bell icon for notifications of our future uploads and live streams. Thanks to Jay on camera.
Always.
And we'll see you soon for the next one. Bye.